So let's do Deadpool. So basically, anti-heroic, self-referential, super non-hero movie. So Ryan Reynolds, Wade, central character, who's a guy who's got all special skills, and then something terrible happens to him, and he is then reborn as this mutated Deadpool. But one of the things that the mutation has done to him is that it's turned his face into something that resembles Freddy Krueger, and he thinks therefore that he will no longer be attracted to the love of his life. So when we meet him in the middle of this kind of vengeful act. The whole sort of setup of the thing is that, with great power comes great irresponsibility. He's potty-mouthed. He constantly breaks the fourth wall. Well, one of the jokes is fourth wall break with inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls. And the whole film is absolutely full of self-referential gags about the cheapskate nature of the expanding X-Men universe and who they could afford and who they couldn't afford and this, that, and the other. I'm going to play you a clip. I have to confess, it's not a great clip. It's from near the end of the movie, but it's the clip that we had that wasn't sweary-tastic, because the rest of the film is absolutely Roger's Profanosaurus.
Go get some.
You're gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing.
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Totally impractical. They all do it.
You're a lovely lady, but I'm saving myself for Francis. That's why I brought him.
I prefer not to hit a woman, so please play.
I mean, that's why I brought her? Oh no, finish your tweet. It's not, that's fine. Just give us a second. There you go, hashtag it. Go get her, Tiger.
Okay, like I said, not a great clip, but there we go. It's the one that we could play, because all the way through the film is a film which takes great relish in profanity. And I'm somebody who actually has always found I do think swearing can be funny. It's that, it's not big and it's not clever, but it can be very funny. So I went into Deadpool knowing not very much about it, and I laughed pretty much all the way through it. A fairly consistent stream of laughs, certainly in a week in which we were just talking about Dad's Army and we were just talking about Zoolander, and that terrible feeling about this isn't making me laugh. I did laugh. Also, whatever reservations anyone may have about Deadpool, in terms of just sheer hit rate for laughs, it worked for me. It is... on the one hand, there's a line in it about you're just so relentlessly annoying, and I can see how it is that watching the movie could be, if you started to take against it, could really, really get under your skin. I've seen a couple of reviews in which people have really been cross about it, and people have tweeted the show here to say he's either going to love it or hate it. And that's not true. I liked it. I think there are problems with it. The biggest problem being that basically it's not Kick-Ass, and very few things are. And I think that it's not as anarchic as it thinks it is. And in a way, there's a sort of sense of kind of corporate smugness to the way in which it's unpicking all that stuff. But that said, whilst they're watching it right from the opening, in which it said it stars a CG character and it's directed by an actually I can't even repeat the jokes from the beginning because the swearing starts at the beginning. I'm terrified that if I start repeating the lines on air, I'm going to swear on air, which I don't want to do.
No, that's in general.
No, exactly. So basically, what you get is Viz Profanosaurus language and profanity. You get senseless comic strip. Deliberately done for comical violence. You get something which is constantly breaking the fourth wall and constantly nodding, not even sort of nodding and winking, but literally waving both its arms at the air in the audience. And I can understand entirely how it is that somebody might not find that amusing, but I did. And certainly in terms of keeping up. Now, for me, the last act sort of starts to fall into the thing which any sort of franchise fare will fall into, which is that we get into the big action set pieces stuff. And even though the jokes keep coming, as the bigger and bigger the action set pieces get, the more and more I kind of start to lose interest. But particularly at a time in which I'm complaining about comedies having not managed to keep me laughing. And even though I can see why it is that some people might take against Deadpool, I would be lying if I didn't say that from the very beginning of it, I started smirking, I started tittering in the same way that I do when I read a copy of Viz magazine, which I know is, there's a photograph, there's a lovely photograph that was printed just after David Bowie died, of David Bowie reading Viz on a train. Did you see this? No. He went to do an interview with someone, and I think it was Mark Radcliffe. And as he was leaving, he saw a copy of Viz magazine and said, "Do you mind if I take that?" And Radcliffe went, no, it's fine. And there's a picture of David Bowie sitting there, reading Roger Melling, the Man on the Telly, and all the rest of it, with this smirk on his face. And it's an absolutely lovely sight. So I don't think Deadpool is perfect. I don't think it's the anarchic game changer that perhaps it thinks it is, but I think it's consistently funny, and often a sort of guilty pleasure, smutty, potty mouthed laugh that you think, I really shouldn't be finding this as funny as I am. And I can see all the problems with it, and I can see that it is a kind of corporate version of anarchy, but I'm laughing. And actually, at the moment, the way things are with comedy, that's really
That's
going
a miracle.
That's a
Your
miracle.
tin ear.
I know, yeah.